I am back. How are you doing? My chat can't hear us for the moment, so... Are you streaming this, or... Are you recording it? Oh. Right. I am going to pop the sounds back on. Okay? Don't...
Maybe we can't trust anymore.
That is true. That is true. I thought your show was going to say Red Dwarf, and then it's like Run D&D. It's like...
Ha ha! It's a good shot. It's thematic.
Oh, my chat wants ferrets. I'll be right back. Hello, Siri. Coming up?
Coffee.
Biscuits.
I really want to figure out a magical way to make espresso.
You get a treat, don't you? Here you go. You can see me getting your treats. You're like, look at me.
Avik, since you're not, your camera and mic and everything are still going, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not gonna bother having mine.
Ugh.
BRB. We'll just sit here.
Oh,
Hi, guys.
Beautiful.
Hi, guys.
Oh, she's so soft. She's got a winter coat.
Soon she'll have scales and wings.
Yes, indeed. You'll be a dragon ferret.
See, I thought that was good for a mission I came with in 5 seconds.
You want to go on my shoulder? I'm going to sit up there for a bit. There you go. Oh, you're enjoying your treat. You're warm. Did I get you out of your nest just then? I think I must have. Must have just caught you between trips somewhere. You are so hot. Here's some. Here you go, sit down. Where's Socks these days, EE?
She was just on screen a minute ago. You missed her.
Was she? Oh, I didn't notice.
Because we were talking about Draco ferrets.
True.
Which personally I think is a better name, but you know, it's your ferret. it's your Draco dragon ferret.
Yeah, but then you think Malfoy and then it's ruined.
True. Oh, you beautiful.
Where's some nice
Malfoy.
That explains everything.
Not really.
No, not at all. Come on, let's do that. Shall we go back? You're like, no, I want more treats. Well, done that.
Ah, coffee.
There you go. Boom.
Okay. Right. Ready to go live.
I'm back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1.5.
Hello! Welcome back.
1 3/4.
I've done my cunning costume change, no one will notice.
Nope. No one's paying attention to you.
No, you've got a ferret on stream, it's fine. Where's Ferret go?
She's going back in the cage. She's going back to her nest.
But she's like in character, she's Gwen.
She would have actually stayed there because she can often make a little nest of my hoodie.
Right. Yeah, welcome back. We're, of course, playing Dungeons & Dragons. Quick shout out to our charity, the wonderful Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, does great work around the world, giving people needed medical care in places where you can't get it, and also places that are desperately in need of sudden, like, emergency stuff, like disaster areas, conflict areas, all that kind of good places and stuff. But yeah, we're going to dive back in. We have just had our band have been basically hired to find out what attacked some guy in his manor. And we're going to dive right back into. They've left the manor after investigating the scene of the crime.
How much did we get? How much was in the pouch?
Important information. We need to know.
Okay, so in the pouch was 150 gold.
Oh, jeez. Can I turn that down?
Oh, you took it and you handed it to your friend.
No, I know.
I see Belfast clearly records. I can't accept this. That means it's split between the other people because you're not accepting it.
No, he did the work. He can donate it to his temple, church. What manner of house of worship do you have? I'm sorry.
Atos, the god of the sun.
No, I mean, what's it called? Is it a church? Is it a temple? Is it a
Shrine.
Temple?
It can be any of the above. He's part of a polytheistic pantheon, and there are different ways of worshipping different things. For instance, the Alarian Empire tends to have a Church of Atos. But generally, you can also worship him as part of a polytheistic pantheon, in which case he'd have a temple. But yeah, it's generally the Atos is the lawful good, counter opposite to Azazel, who is the lawful evil. They both of them are the direct descendants of the main god.
Yay, world building.
Yay.
I should probably make the document in the Google Drive available to everyone in chat at some point and be like, yeah, now you can world build too. Yeah.
Okay,
Careful,
so we're...
you'll end up with all manner of weirdness.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Anhime, god of tentacles. Right.
So yeah, I'm just gonna say you guys can split it amongst yourselves if you so choose.
You can only twist my arm so far. And we split it up either way.
Tulips looks around and says, good enough for me.
That's 50 gold apiece. And he did all the work. Oh, not all the work, of course.
The work is my payment.
Mm-hmm.
Malphas is just stood there just looking at him with kind of like this look, this caught between, it's like having a cousin who you know you're meant to like, but they do things that you really find just really abhorrent. It's like, fine, whatever.
Okay.
Right, well, looking around,
Midday.
so we've just left the manor. We're not very far away from, it's about 10 minutes walk from the centre of or where we were, which was, I guess, the outskirts of town.
Yep.
How large is the town in terms of time to move across it from one side to the other?
Take you about no longer than 15 minutes, really.
Okay, so a fairly small town then.
Yeah, it's not tightly packed either. It's more sort of a village that grew bigger than it really was.
Yeah. Right, well, given that, how, just so I can record my money, we were all given 100 gold. I can't remember if anyone else was in the conversation about the pearl. Because I know that Melfa said, well, regardless, he'll split however much is needed to split the pearl. But just so I can record that.
I'm pretty sure that everybody
Everyone
much
was in
with
agreement.
Villantor agreed.
Okay.
So
So
I took it as everybody had agreed,
got
and
75.
I told you how many. Yeah.
Okay, so we're up to 175 then now. Except for Rhaegar, who's poor, because he is rich of soul and morality, and his God loves him. Yep. You're rich in the ways that count, Rhaegar. We're paupers. Or at least Malphas is a pauper. of the soul because he keeps trying to kill cats. By the way, I do want to point out that I was quite specific. It was an instinctive reaction, not a, there's a cat, I'm going to try and murder you. Now, I don't mind if Bree doesn't make the distinction, but I did want to just point that out there. That it wasn't like, cat, whoosh. It was more like, cat, whoosh, sort of thing. But, right. At this point, Malphas will say, well, we discussed what we should do. I'm probably going to go and make my way towards the guards' quarters, the town watch.
Okay. Sure.
I suggest that Briolani, you see what information you can gather from the townsfolk. If there is some sort of beast prowling, attacking people, I very much doubt it specifically attacked the Lord. And if no one has heard of anything else, then it does seem to point the finger very firmly at possibly the midwife.
It's someone in that house, or something in that house.
Indeed.
I tend to agree. But it's like mid-afternoon, right?
Yeah.
The
You're probably
problem
looking.
that I
It's
have-
probably sort of 2 to 3-ish.
the best way to get gossip in a town like this is going to be the taverns, the bars, and not at this time of day.
Sure enough.
Hesitate
Perhaps a
to wait
market.
until nightfall, though. That's what I was thinking. Perhaps a market. There aren't any other. This is a question. There aren't any other noble houses, right? Like,
No.
like clearly.
No.
But no. Okay. What is around the surroundings of the manor?
Surrounding the manor, there's a little bit of a forest towards the back, behind a large paddock, which you can see has a little stables attached. Beyond that, it's mostly surrounded by some of the less intensively worked farmland, which stretches for quite a distance around here.
Can I see, before we actually leave the grounds, can I see the window to the baby's room?
Yeah, you can. It faces the front of the house.
On the ground floor?
No, it's on the American second floor. Yeah.
Okay.
That's-
Can I do an investigation around the area, around it, the wall going up to it, that sort of a thing?
Make an investigation roll. And Tulips is gonna see this and say, and I will investigate 100 windows, and I will investigate 100 more, just to give you inspiration and to give you dice forevermore.
This
Great.
point, Malphas
Does
just
somebody want to
leaves.
assist?
Malphas is left. The singing is too bad. Also, he's terrible at investigation, so he wouldn't have been able to help.
I can assist. I mean, I don't have any investigation, but like last time, it seemed to work out.
So you have a D4 inspiration dice as well, Bree? I think
Yeah.
that's what Tulips was doing. there.
Apparently. I thought it was a D6, but I couldn't find it when I looked real quick, so I was like,
I'll have a look at it then. Sure, that not advantage.
not advantage?
Nope.
If him rolling a 12 doesn't give me an advantage, then no matter what I roll in this inspiration, I'm not going to succeed at this check.
Oh, what did you roll?
An 8. But, I mean, well, yeah, I guess in investigation, that's plus
You can keep an
plus
inspiration
5
dice
on
for
that.
10 minutes. An inspiration dice still lasts up to 10 minutes if you want to keep it.
No. I did the math wrong. Or I forgot to do the math. And I just dropped the die on the floor. Hang on.
Bardic Inspiration is a D6, I believe. You roll D6. 3.
So, total of 16.
Looking around, you notice that the window and the area immediately surrounding the window and below the window, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
It does look like the window has been closed for a while. Looks like it's not been opened recently. There is some ivy beginning to creep over the edges of it. But other than that, nothing particularly stands out.
See, that's interesting because he said the door frequently blows in the wind at night.
Hmm. What's
And I
Rhaegar
mentioned
doing
that
right now?
because I wasn't sure if that was an oversight on E's part or deliberate.
He's deciding whether it was an oversight on his part or deliberate right now.
Well, okay. Whatever, everything I've said so far stands.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I don't make oversights.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What's Rhaegar up to at the moment?
Well, I was assisting Bree in her investigation, so I was just looking around a little bit.
Okay.
So Rhaegar basically investigates the wall and says, that's good stonework there. Looks mighty sturdy. Yeah.
Did you roll a 1?
No, roll a 12, but there's nothing particularly interesting of note about the stonework or the area surrounding it or the
right.
window.
So in the town, are there other taverns, other bars?
Sure. Asking around,
Okay.
you find out that there is one other bar in the town. It's not really a tavern as such. It's just effectively a small drinking establishment. Less well-known, less well-frequented. It doesn't offer anywhere to stay. Which is, of course, why I directed the other one. But there is a second one.
What about a market?
There is a small market that appears at the weekend. Currently, it's not the weekend. It's roughly what you would assume to be a Tuesday in this universe. No market currently, although there is a general goods trader and a miscellaneous arcana shop. Not just arcana, but also things like herbs and so on as well.
I kind of want to go there just for my own amusement.
If you want.
No, why don't you follow what Melphis does?
Okay, Malthus. So you, having left them to investigate the thing and then sort of ask around about what is there in town, you reach the guard post at the end of town. It's a little bit of effectively almost like a large shed with a little like watchtower attached to it, at which you can see a beacon on the top, which is basically a bonfire ready to go if worse happens, send the signal. The door is currently ajar. And you notice that there is a desk in which behind it is sleeping a large portly gentleman who you met earlier.
Okay. Right. Just pushing the door just slightly ajar, enough to have a look at the room without stepping through the threshold. Is there anything of note in the room other than the gentleman? Is there anyone else there, for example?
Nope, there's currently no one else there. It's just the captain of the guard. There's a few boxes and miscellaneous bric-a-brac. What looks like a small box with bottles in it. Looks like it has a tag on it, like it's been impounded or something.
Okay. Well, given that then, Malthus just kind of raps on the door. Loud enough, yeah.
Hello there. Yes. Quickly straightens bits of his armor and stands up. Did you find anything more out?
No, actually, I was hoping to have a word with you. In fact, there's little of note about the premises themselves, and of course, the Lord and Lady are somewhat distracted at the moment with the attack itself, a little bit too distraught to offer useful information. I thought the best person in the entire town to speak with would, of course, be yourself, as you're the most likely to have noticed anything or anyone who might be out of place.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion, that's a +5. That would be 22, 17 + 5.
Well, we do pride ourselves on, of course, being the one of the best guard outfits in this area, neck of the woods. Yeah. No, well, what specifically do you want to know? Anything in particular?
Well, you mentioned that they hadn't been.
Please come in. Sit down. By the way, sit down.
Thank you.
Let me and he heads over to the crate that has a tag on it that you noticed before.
Okay.
Brushes off some dust and picks up one of the bottles out of it. Sets it down on the desk. Pulls out 2 mugs and starts pouring some out. Hands on to you.
Thank you very much. And Malthus takes a seat. He takes enough, drinks enough to be polite. I'm assuming it's alcohol from what he could tell. Like he probably would have had a bit of a smell as he was going before he even sipped on it. But he doesn't drink much at all, just enough to seem sociable.
It's some reasonable quality rum.
Okay. But as you mentioned, that you might be looking for some large dogs, and I think that's an excellent observation, obviously. And we were just wondering, had there been any trouble in these parts, perhaps with vagrants, mysterious happenings in the last months, and any talk of creatures or anything like that?
No, not really. In the last month, it's been pretty quiet. In all honesty, it was a bit surprising when your caravan came through and mentioned so much trouble. That's the most interesting thing that's happened here for a while. As for vagrants, no. We had some gypsies about 5 months ago who were settling on some of the farmland, but we promptly showed them off. Other than that, not really anything comes to mind in the last few months, no.
I see. As an aside, there were 2 companions with the caravan, two people who went on ahead. I don't suppose that they may have passed through here at all. A young woman, pretty thing, with a very large male companion, little bit on the quiet side, a bit gruff.
Yes, I vaguely remember them coming through. They stopped off briefly at the Black Emporium. I thought they were selling something. They came through briefly. They didn't even stay the night.
I see. That's. Thank you very much for the information. Regarding the Lord and Lady of the Manor, however, I was wondering. I overheard them mentioning their late child, or perhaps it was one of the servants. It was just a casual comment, and I was wondering if they, obviously with this attack, it's quite tragic that they would have that following on so soon after a bereavement. I don't suppose you might be at liberty to discuss that with me at all?
His face grows slightly dark for a moment, and he leans over and says, "Well, frankly, it was a bit of a mystery, a bit of a nightmare as well for them. He was playing one day outside, and he went missing, just disappeared. Completely just vanished."
Has anyone ever found the body? Or is it literally that he's presumed dead at this point?
At this point, we presume him dead. We never did find him, unfortunately.
Shocking. It was a young boy, I take it then. About 4 or 5.
About 3.5 or 4.
I see. And had there been any attempt made against the members of the Lord's family? Are they well liked in these lands? I mean, obviously,
generally they're reasonably well liked. They're fairly, reasonable folk. Of course, I mean, down south they have more trouble. Excessive taxes and whatever. I mean, the closer you are to the capital, the more they squeeze them for taxes down there, more richer lands and so on. But up here, we just get a little less for trade. We're mainly an arable area. We don't have that so much trouble there. Mostly the folk are fine. We do get a little bit of odd sorts coming through now and again, but most people move on pretty quick.
Sign of the times, I suppose. Well, thank you very much for the drink, and thank you very much for the information. I don't imagine my companions and I will tarry here over long. We'll investigate what we can, but I suspect you've already got the situation well in hand. And as Malphas goes to leave, he finishes his drink and says, "I don't suppose you remember the name of the boy, of their son."
Their son. It was the name escapes me. I think it was Andrew. Yes, Andrew. Definitely began with an A.
Andrew, thank you very much. You've been more than gracious. I'll be on my way now. Sorry to have disturbed you.
Before you go, have you seen this really interesting? I don't know. You've well traveled. Have you seen this interesting typography? Like, not typography. Calligraphy. It's very curious. And he pulls out a piece of parchment, and you notice that on it are there's writing. It seems to be some sort of flyer or whatever, but all the letters are very carefully made and equally spaced, and all of them the same. Every D is the same as every D, every E is the same as every E, and it's a flyer for the Black Emporium.
Oh, typography. Spoiler!
Right, so Malphas would notice that it's peculiarly accurate handwriting then.
Yes,
Very
that's
out
what I thought.
of. I've never seen the like. I'm afraid not. Are they?
I assume they've got sort of magical quill or something.
What? Looking at it, can Malphas read it? What language is it?
Yeah, it says it's in common. It just says the Black Emporium, Greenham's premier purveyor of exotic and occult items, open 8 days a week, 25 hours a day.
Okay. Right. No, it seems certainly peculiar, but I can't say I've ever seen anything of its like. I don't suppose I might have this. It's a bit of a curiosity. I'd like to have a look at it at length, if I may.
Around town and suddenly got flooded with them last night. Yep, sure, go for it.
Thank you very much. You say suddenly appeared last night. Was anyone handing them out, or did they just?
Yeah. Jennifer Black, the proprietor of the Black Emporium, was handing them out last night.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Again, you've been very gracious, and if we do come across any information, you will be the first to know.
Yes. And if you're out of here in the next 2 nights, there's 3 bottles of rum in it for you.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm certain we'll be able to clear this up or move on before then.
Oh, excellent. Right. Well, I'll get back to the important work I was doing. Good day to you.
Indeed, I'll leave you to attend to your, no doubt, extremely important affairs, and with that, Malphas leaves.
Okay. You close the door, and you could swear you hear snoring again.
Malphas is not surprised. Okay, looking at this note again. Other than the fact that it's perfect. Of course, Malphas, being the sort that he is, he knows a couple of people with copperplate handwriting. Not that it would be called copperplate handwriting. He knows several people who are able to forge documents at an exceptionally high standard. But would this appear to him like just someone who's very good, or this is uncanny? How curious.
Well, you have seen very simple printing done before, where effectively you have a sheet of metal, you brush it with a little bit of ink, and you can do that, but it's very time consuming. Each person has to do each one individually and have to repaint. This looks like it was, from what he said, mass produced.
He's mentioned there were lots of them, a flood of them.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a fairly good quality print as well.
Would this appear anything similar to something Dvoshka has been able to do in the past? Obviously, Malphas would be familiar with that kind of thing.
No. Dvoshka wouldn't generally use such printing techniques, and like magical quills and stuff tend to write with the handwriting of the creator, the owner.
That's what I was wondering about, yeah.
They don't tend to be the same. They effectively aren't mechanical. They have a life of their own, but the life is a specific element of the person they absorb from.
Right. Okay. All right, well, that's interesting. He just kind of folds it up, pops it in a pocket. Gwen kind of squeaks a little bit, starts to eat it, and he said, "No! I want this," and puts it in another pocket. Not
it's hungry.
not the sounds that ferrets make. But
I know. I
I
can't do
accept.
any sound.
I accept. Right. Okay. So he's going to head towards the markets because that is where he last thought that Briolana and Rhaegar would be heading.
Okay, well, you were very quick, and Bree and Rhaegar asked about everything in the town. So at this point, you probably meet up with them as they are roughly centrally in the town, which is effectively the marketplace, which isn't being used today, being a weekday. So you walk to them in the marketplace and you meet up with them.
Okay.
I was planning on going to Black's.
Okay, well, it did take you a while to ask about everything in the town, ask what they've got, so it's a good point for you to meet up.
Okay. I thought you had said that it was a small village, and their market only meets once a day.
Well, it's a large...
I'm not trying to be contradictory. I'm just saying that I figured I had picked all of that up on the way.
No. You would stop a few people and ask around. It took about an hour. So yeah, you meet up.
Bree is very thorough, and she's got a gift of the gab. When she starts talking, she just doesn't stop. That's about the only way it would take an hour. But maybe Truffles got into some mischief along the way.
Truffles normally does as she's told.
Normally doesn't get distracted by mice. That was glorious. Right, so should we perhaps say that since Melfast has no real point of reference as the market, he'd probably find himself towards the Black Emporium anyway, since it's the only specific place he knows of.
Slightly after Bree and Rhaegar. So Bree, Rhaegar, you headed to the Black Emporium?
Yeah, that solves things a little bit
It's
neatly.
the only place to go. It's there or the one of the bar or the inn that we're staying at.
Sure. Okay, so you get to the Black Emporium. You notice that it says Black's quality emporium, purveyor of fine goods and occult items, and all manner of arcana. The sign itself has some slight silver sort of paint or etching to the side of this sort of dark wood, and you notice that it almost looks like it's glimmering in the light, as if someone was shining a light on it from different angles.
Fancy.
Pretty.
I go inside.
Okay, you head on inside, you open the door, and the door gives off a sound of a bell. Although, curiously, the door doesn't actually have a bell attached.
Here's the thing. Before I do go inside, and
Yeah.
this gives Melfast the chance to catch up, I ritual cast Detect Magic again.
Okay, in which case, Malthus gets there just as you're finishing the ritual, and you then notice that quite a lot of the shop is vaguely magical. Not a lot of strong magic in there, but a lot of miscellaneous magic. The sign itself is ever so slightly magic. The door itself is ever so slightly magic. Quite a few things on shelves, and especially in the back of the shop, that are giving off a magical aura to you. Melthas, you walk up and see Bree.
Oh, hello. How did it go?
It was a generally... He pauses there.
I don't say that.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually.
But it was a generally productive conversation. I learnt a few things, more than I was expecting to. Their son didn't die, the one that they speak of as being dead. He simply vanished. They assume he's dead.
Interesting.
For what it's
What was-
worth, his name was Andrew, or at least that's as much as the doddering old fool of a guard thinks, but it may be worth our time looking into that if we have an opportunity. A son gone missing? I'm leaping far ahead of myself by saying this, but I'll do it now. Is it possible that the son might have been attacked by something which cursed it, and it has returned? It would perhaps explain its focus on the house. The guardsman said there was nothing else untoward in the town. No creatures, no trouble like that. And I would expect a werewolf would have been.
I could very easily envision A tale in which the firstborn male of a noble family gets cursed in some way. Another child is born and they return to linger over its crib, leaving that magical residue. It's possible.
The only thing that wouldn't add up there is the child was 4 or 5. A 4 or 5-year-old isn't going to leave scratches 6 feet high on a door, and certainly isn't going to eviscerate its
normal
father.
one. But a normal
True,
child isn't going to
true.
leave scratches at all.
You haven't known tiefling children.
That's a good point.
Still, it's something to be aware of, and I strongly suspect it may be something we want to look into. But did you have any luck canvassing the townsfolk?
There isn't much of a town to canvass. This is where there's one other bar. The market only opens on the weekend. There's no good source of information in this darned town, save possibly meeting at the tavern tonight. That's why we're here.
That
This
makes
is
sense.
The only
Curiously,
place to try.
did you
It's
see any
all
of
the
these
time
flyers
in and
around?
out, too. I'm sorry?
Did you see any of these flyers about on your travels?
You'll have seen a lot of them, especially in gutters nearby.
Quite a number. And is it radiating magic at all?
It is not radiant magic. It is, in fact, very, very normal.
It is very, very normal.
Well, I would have said the same, but I've picked up a few on my walk through the town, and they, at least to my eyes, are exactly the same. That's not normal. Have a look, and he hands like 2 or 3 that he's picked up. And some of them a little bit muddied from being on the floor. He's careful to hand her the clean parts. And just gestures at it. It may be nothing, but just a bit of a curiosity. It aroused my curiosity at the very least.
His care does not stop her from prestidigitating the dirt off of them so that they are now clean.
All of them are the same, except for the fact that some of them slightly shift position on where they are on the parchment, like by a fraction. But other than that, they are the same. It's the same spacing, the same distribution of ink. There are a couple that are ever so slightly more faded, but not noticeably much.
Am I at all familiar with printmaking?
You would know that it's used in some places. It's generally very poor quality. It's why it's not really used much for books and so on, because some of the characters can be hard to read, and especially printing everyone by hand takes a very long time.
I took a class in printmaking.
Cool.
No, like I actually did take a class in printmaking. We've been doing it for like
That's cool.
millennia. So,
I know they actually used to do art like
this
it.
is like, okay, this is not that unusual for somebody to have made an entire plate and then using that as a stamp. But
Yeah,
I
the
don't know
point
how
is, though,
unusual that is within the world.
Back in the world, the metallurgy of the day won't be able to hold letters of those fine like areas for very long. The metal will either tend to deform, or it will tend to be very hard to work with, and it'll be very hard to actually make those letters to begin with. In addition, you'd have to by hand every single one.
While she's looking over it, Malphas will chip in and said, to be honest, probably one of the most curious things is that they all apparently appeared last night. The lady was handing them out in enormous quantities.
And it's just an ad for...
Yes. I've known people who could finally copy a script, and I've even seen people use a primitive print, but for an advertisement, that seems like an exorbitant, costly thing to do.
The shop itself is strange for a magical item shop of some kind to exist in such a small village.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Though, of note...
Not unheard of, I'm sure.
The two people who were traveling with the caravan, the mysterious young woman and her enormous bodyguard, they passed through here. I don't remember when they slipped off from the caravan, but it was before we And as if he was just remembering something that he's still kind of angry about, and then just making an effort to just shake it out of his head. He's like,
She interjects.
yeah, it's
when she sees that.
yeah. He's like,
going down
yeah.
that path, she says, Do we know how long ago?
A few days ago, was that what he said? He said it recently, didn't he? He said like a few nights ago. I can't
Yeah, he
remember.
said like it was about
Was
a day
it
or so ago.
Oh, a day or so. Oh, okay, I thought it was a day or so ago. So quite recently, they took off and didn't wait at all to have gotten here that fast.
Interesting.
And they came
Now-
here. That's all he remembers. They came straight here and then moved on.
I'm all for helping where we can, but we've already made some fair coin here, and that trail will get cold fast.
Indeed. Reasonable.
Nevertheless,
Let's
let's
have a
follow
look
this lead
inside.
for now and look inside. While my spell is still active.
At the very least, there's no point in us leaving tonight. It's going to be night too soon for us to get any kind of distance towards the next town. It'd be better to
have
leave
a
in the
feeling.
morning if we were going to.
I have a feeling we'll have another attack overnight.
It'll be interesting night, it's to be certain. At that point, kind of just reaches, pushes the door open, looks up when he hears the ding that he wasn't expecting, and just waits for the others to go through.
Okay, you head on in, and at this point, a youngish woman, probably sort of mid-20s, blonde hair, sort of wearing a black robe, sort of a more formalish type robe, rather than look, it's a magic robe, walks in and says, "Oh, hello, welcome to Black's Emporium. What do you want today? How can I help you?" "Ooh, a tiefling. Hello."
Two of them.
"Oh, another tiefling."
Tulips.
Oh,
Tulips is
and more.
hiding behind Malphas. He's perfectly silhouetted, and then he pops his head up.
"Well, you're a curious lot, aren't you? What do you want? How can I help you?"
She's basically ignoring him and looking around, seeing what kind of accoutrement is in the shop.
A lot of it is just general curiosities, bric-a-brac. Some items that are just like pieces of jewelry or whatever. It looks like the places are just generally a miscellaneous goods trader that might trade in stuff that the general store or butchers or grocers doesn't tend to have. You would call them effectively a sort of exotic goods store. But also deals as an occult dealer because of the nature of the nature of the world. Some things just happen to be slightly magical, and you kind of tell there are a few things vaguely magical. There is a small pile of scrolls behind the desk which are slightly magical. There's also a couple of what you notice to be potions that are also slightly magical. There is a necklace on display in a locked cabinet at far end, which is also magical as well. And there's some magic in the back, but you can't tell really what from this.
Is there a gun here? Since we're allowed to call them that now. The woman
As
in
far
the
as you
caravan
can-
did.
As far
So
as you can see, there is no gun.
Okay. I figure they're everywhere in the world now. I should start looking for them.
I love the way you had it. I'm allowed to call it now. You're not allowed to act stupid just because I didn't call it a boomstick. Someone has given me the word gun, and I am going to keep using it. That was glorious. But that was a good fight.
So, how magical does the necklace look?
It looks like it is a magical aura type magic that gives something to its wearer, presumably some kind of, by the look of it, maybe I think it's a. Looks like it gives you advantage on some kind of skill thing. You're not sure what.
Skill thing.
Well, you haven't done identify. You've done detect magic, so.
Yeah, no, that's more than I expected you to give without
Yeah, I'm
Narcana
being generous
roll.
today.
Makes you do stuff better.
Yeah, makes you do stuff better.
But okay, well, as the was it a man or a woman who came to greet us?
Woman.
A woman. Given that, then as she specifically was, kind of curious about the tieflings, said, "Oh, you're curious, lad," and Mal said, "Yeah, we're just passing through, and as it happens, found it a little bit curious that there'd be a shop of this nature in a town this small, this remote."
Oh, well, being so close to, the wood elves and their area, and of course, being so close to some of the dwarf holds, so we do tend to get some curiosities through here. There's a variety of traders and so on come through. Not many in terms of bulk traders, but we do get the odd curiosity, the exotic item. I tend to deal in all of those. And of course, I do find the occult kind of fascinating, especially the arcana. You don't happen to know anything about...
Where did you get these? She interrupts him. Sorry. She interrupts him.
Pointing at?
Holding up. Sorry.
The flyer.
Holding up a flyer.
Oh, I made those.
How did you do these?
I made those with the newfangled printing press that I got last night.
Oh, all right.
Would you like to see it? It's rather a miraculous item.
Absolutely. I would love to.
On. And she leads you over to the desk. She walks behind through a door and comes back holding something big and metal with lots of what appear to be moving parts. She says, "Oh, watch! It's obviously some sort of interesting device. I don't know quite how it works." She puts a piece of parchment in, and you notice that there is a row of small bits of metal that have been threaded onto a bar. There are several of these bars. This is attached to some sort of reciprocating motion, which, as she pulls a lever and starts cranking, it goes doosh, doosh, doosh.
I love the way
time...
you describe these things to us. Even though we know what you're describing, but you're actually really good at describing it as if there are no words to describe what it is, just what it does. I love it. I love these descriptions you give. They're fantastic.
It basically switches between hitting the piece of parchment and landing on what appears to be a black sponge. But as you watch, you get the idea that black sponge is actually just a sponge that is full of ink. And it switches between landing on the sponge and then landing on the parchment. And she quickly just starts shifting parchment through it. And you notice that it goes dish, dish, dish. And she hands one to you, and it's a copy of the flyer.
Malphas was paying attention for a little bit, but then seeing that, Briolana was over there watching, he started looking around at the rest of the shop and starts just browsing.
And it's entirely non-magical. She's both asking this and perceiving it with detect magic.
Make an arcana roll.
Oh, his generosity has run out.
It is not magical whatsoever.
I'm like, detect magic.
I know. It's not magical whatsoever. And she looks at you and goes, no, quite not magical. It's quite a curious invention, really.
So there's the sponge. You add ink to it manually. It's not magic ink.
No, but that is a good idea. I will have to put that on the list. Maybe I can improve it by putting magic ink in the sponge. Maybe if the sponge somehow absorbs ink, that'd be a very good idea. I will have to look into that. But yes, no, not magical at all.
I like this character.
Did you make this?
No. I bought it. I bought it off the lady who came through the other day. She came in and she wanted to give it to me, and I insisted to give her money. Didn't take it for free. It's worth quite a lot of money.
Big, tall, male friend with her?
Yes, that's the one. Why?
About how long ago?
Can't be any more than 2 days.
Oh, very interesting. Sorry, odd curiosity. We happened to be in a caravan where a couple of people went missing. That's all.
Oh.
But
Okay,
clearly they just found their stop and left in the busyness of breaking camp.
Well, he seemed a bit quiet and she seemed a bit curious. I mean, she had like a nervous tick and so on. Did wonder where they came from.
From where he's just like browsing things, clearly that he was eavesdropping, and he isn't ashamed. He said, Malphas calls out, "I don't suppose they might have mentioned where they were heading?"
No, they didn't mention where they were coming. They just came in and were wanting just to dump this thing with me. I insisted on giving them money. They didn't even want to really talk very much. She seemed a little bit socially awkward. I don't know why she would be socially awkward. She's quite a pretty lady, but no, don't understand at all.
Did they sell anything else? Did they buy anything?
She bought some. I think she bought some iron ore, just raw iron ore.
Interesting. And I remarked on how they were a little peculiar, nice people, but a little peculiar when we were traveling with them.
Yes.
Very
Oh, well, she seemed perfectly nice, but there was a weird facial tick every time she talked. It was very, very odd indeed.
She's a synth.
How? Why is it that I was thinking exactly the same thing when you said that? My lord. How much iron ore did they purchase?
Oh, they purchased let me look in this. They purchased about 15 kilos.
That's not much ore.
Well, it was quite high grade ore, but no, not much ore at all.
I don't suppose you have any idea. I mean, a small town like this, someone must have seen the direction, which road they chose to leave by. I don't suppose you happen to have any idea where they left. I ask only because they left in such a hurry. They misplaced one of their items, and I'm eager to return it.
Make a deception roll.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten about that. We did need to get that back to them.
You can assist.
Oh, I need it. That's terrible perception
Cross your
roll.
fingers. I haven't been rolling well today.
What's
What's
that total?
I need to look. Hang on. Sorry. 12.
Mine is 14. 7 plus 7.
You've already passed. I rolled a 2.
She's a trusting sort. I like this character.
I didn't even tell you what the modifier is, but she rolled a 2, so you're good. That's terrible. Yes. Well, I think they probably headed east. I think. That's the road they went down when they left. I did peer out the window. I was concerned. I was wondering where they were going. I wasn't eavesdropping. No, I wasn't watching. No, it's fine.
Of course not. No, of course not.
No, I wouldn't listen in on someone's conversation. No.
Casual observation, of course.
Yes. But yes, do you want to buy anything?
I would perhaps we
Maybe
would
it's
be
not for sale.
interested. Perhaps that as well. Do you happen to have any particular items of note for adventurers such as ourselves?
Oh, adventurous, you say? Oh, okay. Well, I've got a number of different things. I mean, what are you looking for? Are you looking for, ability things? Are you looking for magic things? What are you looking for?
I noticed Bree looked like she was about to say something. Am I clear to keep talking? Okay, cool. I'd be interested in weapons, armor,
Weapons,
trinkets.
I believe I have. She looks around under the desk, knocking things over. You can hear parchment hitting the floor and so on, and pulls up a dagger. And puts it on the desk. And goes, I've got this knife. I'm not sure about any other weapons or armor. I don't think I have very many weapons or armor. Oh, I have. She pops into the back and runs around again and comes back with a shield and plunks it on the desk and goes, oh, I have a shield.
At that, Malphas nods to Rhaegar. You seem the sort that might make use of a shield.
Yeah, definitely. I walk over from the door, which I'm still staring blankly at the room, and enter the conversation.
You said there was the necklace or the pendant or something as well in the thing, right?
Yes, there is a pendant that is giving off some sort of magical aura.
But aside from that, it's the stuff that she's pointing out, the dagger, the shield, that have...
Specifically, Malphas asked for weapons and armor.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything... for people who I'm trying to think of how to word it. Who like to be protected without bulky things.
Oh, protected without bulky things. Oh, you mean protection ropes and light armor and stuff? Oh,
Cloaks
no.
as well.
Cloaks? I don't have a cloak.
Rings, pendants.
No, I'm afraid not.
Quite all right.
Yeah. Oh, I do have spell scrolls. I have a pendant over there, which is a pendant of charisma, and I have a few other things, but I don't. Sorry, I don't have any armor or cloaks or rings.
Mentioning the pendant of charisma.
They aren't magic rings, and I think you want magic rings, yes? I mean, if you're looking for a nice emerald ring, I think I have an emerald ring around here somewhere. And she starts scrambling through papers under the desk.
At the mention of the pendant, Melfast walks over to the one that was she directed him toward and takes it off whatever shelf and just has a look at it. But it's
in a
generally
locked
waiting for the
cabinet.
others. Oh, wow. Okay, well, looking at it then.
Looking at the pendant, it has a number of different red gems set into it of differing sort of lightnesses. So you've got stuff like what appears to be maybe a ruby, then maybe sort of a rose quartz and so on. And it's put in effectively a order of light to dark along on what is effectively a steel or silver necklace of some kind.
Okay.
I'm gonna inquire about the shield.
Oh, well, this shield is a shield of protecting your allies. I can't remember the name. It's something like defender of brethren or something. Brethren, something about brethren. But yes, this shield will allow you to protect against anyone who attacks one of your friends when you are nearby. For mechanical purposes, the shield will allow you to, as your reaction, spend your reaction to take a D8 away from someone's attack if they are attacking someone in melee that you're also in.
And what's the range?
Melee. So you have to be melee with the person that's also melee with the person that's...
Okay. Okay.
Or technically, if they chose to shoot out of combat, you could use it. Like if they were in combat with you and they choose to shoot out of combat, you could use it on them as well. So basically, it allows you to, as your reaction, spend a reaction to use a D8, and then you take the D8 away from whatever attack roll they're doing. It can't be an attack directed at you, though. It has to be directed at someone you consider a friend.
As a shield, as I'm assuming that dwarvish friend is some sort of master of arms, what would be the base properties of the shield? You know, as an actual shield for him, what would the characteristics be?
Well, I'm afraid that the shield is just a general shield. It's a good shield though. Finest steel and all that.
Okay.
Probably made by the dwarves themselves. I don't know. You people do make nice shields. Not that I mean you people in a racist way. I don't mean to be racist. I just mean that dwarves make good shields. I mean, not that anyone else can't make good shields.
It's
I mean,
fine. It's fine. Everything's good. Didn't take it that way at all.
Dwarves do make good shields.
How much?
Just pick them up, carry them around on your arm.
That shield will be. Let me just check. She flicks through a ledger. 120 gold.
And what about the necklace? It's quite lovely.
Oh, well, it is. The necklace is a necklace of... She starts flicking through her papers again under the desk. Oh, yes, this necklace basically makes you more friendly or appear more attractive or amenable or believable to whoever you're talking to.
The charisma pendant. Yeah.
It's effectively a +1 to charisma, but does not apply for intimidation.
Right.
It also counts as +2 if the person you're talking to is attracted to you and you're trying to seduce them or some manner using their infatuation against them.
At this point, Tulips perks up.
At this point, Tulips perks up.
She said she didn't have any like cloaks or anything of that nature.
No, sorry, no cloaks. I mean, if you want a nice velvet cloak, I can direct you to Diana Gray. Diana Gray runs the seamstress shop around here. She has a very nice menagerie of cloaks and other fine garments and so on. Yes.
I may stop in there later. Thank you.
Yes. If you also need a midwife or whatever, not that you'd look pregnant. You don't look pregnant. You don't look fat in any way. I mean, you'd look perfectly nice.
I'm an elf, darling. We lay eggs.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
It's true, yes, they're delicious.
Makes a step backwards.
I only eat the unfertilized ones. I'm not a monster.
I have.
We're joking, darling. Don't worry.
At that,
His sense of humor is
Melfast cracks a
darker
smile.
than the rest of us.
Oh, very well. Well, I have that pendant, and I have the shield, and I have this dagger, and spell scrolls. And
Scrolls, yes, that's what it was. That's what I was excited about. What have you got?
Well, and she grabs a bunch of parchment behind the desk and dumps it in front of you, and then starts flinging bits of them away. He goes, well, that one is a scroll of fairy fire. And this one is a scroll of fireball. And this one is a scroll of, oh, what's that one? Telekinesis. Oh, there you go.
And how much was it for? Did she ever find that emerald ring?
Oh, well, you want the emerald ring? Oh, let me have a look.
No. I am asking you if she ever found the emerald ring.
No, she was just digging through papers
Just
until someone asked her a different question. He never seemed to find it.
There doesn't seem to be any nice jewelry or anything like that.
Looking around, there are a few okay pieces of jewelry. There's nothing that's like top of the line, pristine mint. But there are a few okay pieces of jewelry. Nothing greatly stands out though.
All right.
Might I inquire about the dagger that you presented earlier?
Oh, that dagger is a dagger. Oh, there we go. This dagger is a dagger forged by. I think that says tieflings. Or demons.
Made for tieflings, by tieflings, from tieflings.
It's forged by the Infernal. And it's something well crafted. But yes, it's a magical dagger. Effectively, it will give you a +1/+1. It is a +1/+1.
Evil
All right.
enough for him, but pokey enough for.
Oh, this is fantastic. Would he asking her? Would the dagger require attunement, or is it?
Oh,
not
right.
an
Yes.
attuned item?
This dagger will require attunement, I believe. But it is a +1 dagger. It's very good. She basically metas to you, so make this easier.
Yes. No, I realize that a +1/+1 dagger is quite nice. That effectively means +1 damage, +1 to hit. Is that right? Yeah. So it's effectively a 2 to 5 damage dagger with a much better chance of smacking someone. I don't suppose you have any other magical trinkets, rings, pendants, or any of the like.
I'm afraid not. We don't
Ammunition for a bow.
Yeah. Ammunition for a bow. Ammunition for a bow. Oh, yes. I have this, and she plonks down an arrow in front of you.
Okay.
Is a sleep arrow. Yes, it effectively casts sleep on the person it hits.
I see. That's quite interesting. Could you let me?
If you're wanting something slightly more esoteric, I recently got this in. She puts down on the desk a ball bearing.
And
This ball bearing, whoever you throw it at, will take fire damage.
I see.
I'm
And
not sure quite why someone enchanted a ball bearing, but
neither am I. What are the prices for the pendant, the dagger, and the arrow?
the arrow will run you at 60 gold. The dagger will run you at 300. And the pendant will run you at 225.
And for the bullet, ball bearing.
The ball bearing will run you at 25.
Do I recognize that for what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
You've had enough experience with them now.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if, yeah. And we have this pouch, and I pull out the gray bag of tricks that we might be able to offer up as trade if one of my companions here is interested in purchasing one of these fine items.
Oh, well, that certainly is an interesting bag. Oh, I have a bag myself. And she goes under the desk and pulls out a bag, plonks it in front of you. It's just an empty bag.
Right, but this one's magical.
Oh, this one is too. Watch. And she just grabs everything she's been talking to you about and starts putting them in the bag one by one. And you notice as they go in the bag doesn't get bigger.
You said it was non-magical, though.
No, this bag is very magical.
You, EE, just said that it was non-magical.
It doesn't look magical, but I forget that you've got
Detect magic.
up. Yeah, the bag is magical. You
It's
definitely.
Okay, it's a bag of holding. Great. I'd love it.
How much for the curious bag you have there?
Let me look up in my ledger. This is because off the top of my head, I don't know how much a bag of holding costs. Wrong ledger.
Wrong ledger. Got too many ledgers, oh my lord.
Well, unlike, say, Shadowrun, where they have one rulebook that's gigantic with tiny print, D&D are like,
500 pages.
Yeah.
500 pages of tiny print.
Note that the Shadowrun first edition rulebook doesn't actually tell you what happens when you fall to 0 hit points. It was a bit of a mess, the first edition, the 5th edition. Oh, where is bag of holding? Bag. Seriously?
They don't even give specific prices anymore. That drives me up the
No, it's really annoying. They basically say it's a price around this tier.
Yeah, but you know, you've got like a ring plus one and a bag of holding, and they're like the same tier, but totally different. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Yeah. It also depends on the world itself, like, but yeah, no, it would be helpful if they gave
It depends on the rules.
Bag of holding is only common, so the bag of holding will run you at 250 gold.
And how much would she be willing to cut off if I give her the bag of tricks?
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I interject and support that by saying that I happen to be on very good terms, practically family, with an owner of a rather large curiosity emporium. Dvoshka's Magical Emporium? You might have heard of it.
Oh, Dvoshka's. Yes. Dvoshka's. Yes. And she pulls out a book from below the desk and opens the front page, and you see that there, smiling, is a picture of Dvoshka.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, Dvoshka.
23.
Oh no, persuasion. She didn't need my help. Rolled 19
Can
plus.
have advantage anyway. You don't even need to roll for this Malthas. Name dropping helps sometimes. You can have advantage, Bree, so you can roll again just in case.
And see if I get a 20.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, I don't know many people, but the people I know count. They also tried to kill me occasionally.
23. Oh, well. And she takes the great bag from you and goes, do you mind if I... You mind?
By all means.
Excellent.
It's
Now I need to-
uncommon as well.
Yes, I know it's uncommon, but I want to know what she's going to pull out of him.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's going to try. Dragon! Oh my god! Everyone dies.
No, trust me, I wouldn't be selling it if I could pull one of those out.
Bag of tricks.
Can you pull a dragon egg out of it?
It's a great bag of tricks.
Were you guys thinking about any of the other... While he's looking that up, were you guys thinking about any of the other items?
Yeah, I was definitely considering... I'm not considering the arrow. Malthus can cast sleep if he wants it. The arrow would allow him to cast it at a very great range.
She pulls something out of the bag and throws it on the floor, and a goat appears in the middle of the shop and sprints towards the door.
Truffles chases it.
Very certain. Is it a ram? Because if it's a ram, it'll just turn around.
Just a plain old normal female goat, not a ram. Don't worry.
Because I'm fairly certain that wouldn't be running for the door. That would be trying to kill us. All of us. Crazy goat bloodthirsty eyes.
Sorry, that was the rust. It's actually a boar.
Oh, well, in that case, the first thing Malthus says, he literally jumps up onto the counter.
You've seen this bag before.
Yeah, he's seen this bag before. She just pulled a boar out of it. A boar? Boars are not known for being friendly creatures.
Boar? Would you like some food? Good boy. Okay, what else would you like? I will give you, for this bag, 300 gold.
And how much was she offering the bag of holding? Didn't she say?
225.
250 gold for the bag of holding.
Say that again?
250 for the bag of holding.
And she'll give me 300 for this bag.
Yes.
Excellent. And
At this, Malphas also draws out, I have a few odds and sods that might be of interest to you as well. And he places the small boomstick down on the counter, because he's got a small and a big one still.
Oh, what is this? What does this do?
It's a mechanical device. It's as interesting to me as your curious press, though perhaps not of as great use to you. I'm sure someone might be inclined to purchase it at great cost.
really quickly
How do you use this? Do you...
really quickly in Infernal, she says to him, unless she'll give you Braylana says to Melphis, unless she'll give you a small fortune for that, I'll take it from you.
Unless she's going to give me a small fortune, it's not for sale, he replies. But
What does it do? She starts like holding it and looking down the barrels.
at that point, Malphas gently but quite swiftly reaches out, points the barrel away from her. That ball there goes in one end, and if you use it the right way, it comes out again very quickly. And
What
hurts.
ball? Did you point at the one on the desk?
Yes.
She puts the ball into the barrel.
No. Don't do that.
By the way, was it already loaded?
That one, the big boomstick was not loaded. The small boomstick was. It's
so
not been used. I mean, Again, Malphas has got his hand on the barrel. He's going to be attempting to prevent her from doing anything like that. He's explaining it, but not necessarily letting her
She
break
just
something.
cocked it as well.
She can cock it. That's fine. So,
Well, how do I use it? What does it do?
Rhaegar
don't
slowly
touch
backs away.
anything else. It is potentially quite dangerous. He's holding the barrel around, not over the top.
Okay.
He's holding it like that and basically pointing it away from everyone. Release it for a moment, and he carefully takes it off her, puts his hand between the firing pin, and with his finger there to prevent it from accidentally going off, just releases the cock. Just, busts her open. Yeah. Very gently lowers the hammer again and explains, it's a weapon. It is not a magical weapon, though it appears that ammunition is magical, and that does
The ball
open up.
bearing that into her hand, and she puts it back on the desk.
Yes. It's the counterpart to that. Think of it as a mechanical slingshot. Very powerful one.
Oh, can I test it?
No.
I need to know what it is. No. Well, then not for sale. You can have it.
Okay, fair enough. He takes it back. The other thing is the Tome of Human History. Puts on the counter.
Oh,
Oh, I thought we liked that.
I did, but it costs a lot of money to use.
That's true.
Reginald's Tome of All Human History. Oh. I mean, it's worth a bit of money, but only if you've got the entire set. You don't have the entire set, do you?
No, but it's still a curious item in and of itself.
Yes, but not wanted as much these days, due to the fact that, it's a money sink.
Damn it. Don't I know that?
I could give you 15 gold for it. If you have the entire set, I will pay you far more.
I'm afraid I don't have the entire set. It's fine, I'll keep it.
Okay.
15 gold.
Do you guys want the dagger or the shield or the pendant or whatever?
All the spell scrolls. All the potions, which you haven't asked about.
Oh, no.
Shopping is
Push it
shopping.
over.
Yeah. If Rhaegar wants the shield, Malphas gestures.
Well, if you guys, I'm basically going to say the same thing. If any of you do want anything, then you have priority over myself.
Does he use a shield?
I already used. Yes.
Yes.
What have I?
You've got a shield and Warhammer, don't you?
Yeah.
I do, but I don't think I've ever used the shield. Does it? Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, it
background.
automatically.
It's automatic. It affects your AC.
Yeah, as long as you're not using a two-handed weapon, it's assumed that you're using.
Well, let's think of it this way. I have a spell or something like that that actually does the same exact thing as the shield, so I don't actually need it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll put the shield away then. Do you want the dagger? Do you want those scrolls? Do you want the potions? I have a potion of true sight. I have a potion of invisibility. I have a potion of healing.
The mechanically the pendant gives just +1 charisma, doesn't it? Is that two charisma
yes, but
rolls
not-
or two the charisma stat itself?
Charisma, it's literally 2 charisma checks, skill checks.
Oh right, so it's the same as proficiency. It just adds +1 to the check itself rather than affecting the stat. Because +1 to the stat isn't going to push me over the boundary to get another +1 point.
It's
But
it's a
+1 to the.
Yeah.
It counts as +2 if you are trying to manipulate the feelings of someone who
Is
has
attracted to you.
romantic towards you. Does not count for intimidation.
Then Melfast would be interested in the pendant, yes.
Okay, well, that was a rough price. Do you have the money for it?
How much was it? It was 200 and something?
25, I believe.
225. I've got 175. We're 50 over on the bag.
Well, if you're willing to give her the bag for money, she will give you 300 for the bag right now. Provided you want to buy the bag of holding.
Oh, I absolutely want the bag of holding. There's no question on the usefulness of that.
And I'm fine with literally just if you want to use the money to get the bag of holding, I'm fine with you having that. There's obvious use in there, and I'll just spend the rest of my money in the 50 that comes from selling our bag to get the pendant.
I'm fine with that. Trying to see if we've got anything else that we might want to part with.
What's the name of the dagger? Oh, it was just a dagger of +1/+1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My chat's going mad saying she has the dagger of past futures. It's like, no, she doesn't. If she did, I would go to great lengths to get it. Just so I had the dagger of futures past and the dagger of past futures. Probably isn't a dagger of past futures, but it's an awesome name. If she told me that was the name of the dagger, I would totally get it.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Indeed.
That's what I want a dagger of. I want
Indeed.
a dagger of wibbly wobbly,
Make,
timey-wimey.
make an Arcana check.
Who?
Melthas.
Okay. Oh dear. Just an Arcana check. I've got a 13. 9 plus
Okay.
4.
And also make a basically an attack roll of daggers. Just make an attack roll of daggers. Just your knowledge of daggers.
Okay. That would be a 5, yeah? That's
Yeah.
just my proficiency with daggers. Okay.
Sure.
That's 14.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. So what are we doing then, guys?
Well, I'm fine with that proposition.
Oh, well, if you want that, then that will be grand total of 225 for that, and 250 for the bag, and of course you will give me that bag. So I want 175 gold off you, and the grey bag, and I will give you the bag of holding and the necklace. And she goes over and starts unlocking the cabinet for you.
Okay. And I just hand over 175 gold.
Sweet. Transaction complete.
Oh, you mentioned you might have accidentally, of course, overheard conversation from the woman and the large man that we have that item for. Did I mishear you saying that?
What? No, I wouldn't eavesdrop. No, don't eavesdrop.
No. Not eavesdrop, of course not. But perhaps you accidentally heard something.
Make a persuasion roll of advantage.
While she's doing that, what's the name of the pendant I've just picked up? And whatever else I know about it, I need to write down.
The Pendant of Glamour.
I have no idea how to spell glamour. Okay. I
Oh,
got
you
it.
are?
Oh, you are. Yeah.
Look at the black one.
20.
Yeah, natural 20. She looks at you and goes, well, no, obviously it wouldn't over here, but maybe just happen to bump into sound. Sound, like, it travels into your ear, and you can't really avoid sound, can you? It just travels through the air, and, you can't close your ear. You can close your eyes. Yes, you can close your eyes. You can't close your ear. No. But yes, I heard her, and she was talking to the big man. The big man didn't say anything. He grunted. He grunted something awful. But no, she talked, and she was saying something about, hunting her. They were hunting her. Something about that, and that something about a god and something about her, something vessel, something about gods and vessels. Not sure what. Frankly, I think she was slightly crazy.
It's entirely possible, my friend. Thank you. We're done here.
Okay, well, if you want to come back and buy more stuff, please let me know. I've got all these things. Yes, get more all the time.
Very well.
Excellent. Of course, if we ever pass through again, we will definitely stop in.
Yes. Oh, take one of these. And she hands you one of the flyers she just printed out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Think about magical ink.
Very good idea.
Something like this bag of holding, or this
She's absent-mindedly pulling things out of the grey bag.
flask of never-ending water, something along those lines that could
Flask of
give
never-ending
you
water?
an endless supply of ink.
Flask of never-ending water. Let me have a look at that. That looks curious.
Oh, it's not for sale, but of course, that's the Iridia with love flask that does whiskey or water.
She looks at it and she basically tells you that the flask is a flask that was crafted by the dwarves of one of the nearby dwarf holds in a number for a number of merchants who helped get supplies to them when they were under siege, and that each flask was gifted to them, and that the flask enchantment itself produces effectively an amount of water, pretty much unlimited because it draws it from the plane of water, and has also a second enchantment, which is very curious, which is that it will turn the water in there into effectively a small bag of holding area and then turn it into whiskey. So once per day, it can be used to make a flask amount of whiskey.
I already knew that.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, I knew a decent amount of that, but the part about the history I was not familiar with. Fascinating, though. Thank you.
Oh, no, don't worry. Thank you very much. Curious folk. And she starts busying herself with stuff on the desk. Curious folk.
Is there anything I need to write down about this pendant?
A motherfucking direwolf appears in the store.
How rude.
Okay.
It's passive, though.
Yeah, they all obey her.
Yeah, having observed that the board didn't rush around, Malphas remembered, and
It's a horse-sized wolf.
about the wolf. Knocking everything over,
knocks everything
massive,
over. Yeah,
massive. It's a horse-sized wolf in the middle of a store. That's fantastic.
another rat appears.
Glorious.
As you leave, just a menagerie of animals are just starting to fill the store now. It does stop at 8, so it's not going to start filling into the road, but yes.
Okay. Good times. Right. Is there anything I need to write down about the pendant?
Yes, it'll give you +1 to charisma skill checks, not intimidation. Double if you're manipulating the feelings or playing to the feelings of someone who has romantic feelings for you.
We should really have bought that for Tulips.
Malphas is thinking about giving it to him, honestly.
Tulips is quite happy to hold on to his money for now, but he does look curious at the pendant.
You know, that does mean that my deception roll... it only affects charisma checks, isn't it? Literal
that
charisma
includes
checks.
things like
Anything
deception.
that, then my deception is now 8. That's fantastic. Or 9, if they actually care about me, and I'm the sort to lie to someone who cares about me. I'm not sure what Malphas is. Maybe. Sometimes.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, by now, it's probably getting towards about 6-ish.
Okay.
you can probably visit one more store before everyone's closing up.
There are more stores?
Oh yeah, there's the seamstress next door that she mentioned you're going to for cloaks. There's a butcher's, a few other things.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think we want to go back to the inn that we're staying in, but not stay too long. I want to be lurking outside of that manor house
Good call. I agree.
from around 9 until midnight.
Okay. So you head back to the inn. You enter the inn. And there's a number of people in there. It's a little bit more busy tonight.
Okay.
Bree bursts into laughter as she walks inside.
And then she opens the bag of holding. Somebody in my chat was just like,
She didn't
"Don't
take the
forget to
stuff out.
check if she remembered to empty the pouch."
She never said she did. And she was distracted by a dire wolf.
Bree, are you going to check the pouch?
I am.
Specifically to check the pouch, you have to ask or basically think about what you want to pull from the pouch. The only way to check the pouch is empty or to look for something that you don't know is in there is to effectively turn the pouch inside out.
Oh goodness! All right, I'll
Just-
remember that and empty it later.
Has she mentioned this this possibility, or is it just something that crossed her mind? She could think about the shield and the dagger that was put in there.
She may have just laughed a little bit, but she wouldn't say it out loud necessarily. There wouldn't
Okay.
be, she wouldn't have left any, like the shopkeep wouldn't have left anything particularly expensive or valuable, like
She
the
was
shield or the
super
dagger.
distracted, and the only things that she said she put in there were the shields and dagger, and she never said to
Probably
take them out.
Bree,
something that
Bree,
she
make an
forgot
intelligence
in there, but we don't know what yet, and it's probably not going to be the dagger or any of that stuff. So
Bree, you can make an intelligence test.
I hope this goes well.
no. 10.
She may have, you're not sure, you can't remember. But yeah, you went to the tavern. It's a little bit busy than
I
last
hope
night.
that dagger's in there.
You notice that there's a number of people in here. The guard captain's in here. He is already pretty hammered. The midwife is in here talking to the proprietor, the owner.
Mhm.
There's also a couple of other people that you don't really recognize scattered about. It's a little bit busier than it was last night. It seems that maybe there's some sort of gossip going on and people all want to be at the hub of the center of gossip, which happens to be the tavern.
Where's the guard captain, or are there other guard there?
Yeah, the guard captain is with the guard who you initially came and got you. Is sitting in one of the booths to the side, looking a bit more red-faced. Obviously, he's got like one button open on his trousers and has finished a big meal with an empty plate in front of him.
Okay, well, at this point, Malphas turns to the others and said, "Time to grease the wheels," and nods to them and walks off, heading towards the guardsman's table, and close enough to be quite clearly overheard. He flags down a barmaid and says, "Another round for the town's finest."
Oh, awfully good of you. Would you like a chair, I suppose?
Certainly, thank you very much. It's not
Yes,
often I
yes.
get to sit amongst such fine company.
Melfast, seeing you do this, is gonna whisper under his breath to you.
Malphas? I am Malphas.
Sorry, Tulips, I keep getting you mixed up. You're just tieflings. You all look the same to me.
Wow.
Tulips, seeing you doing this, whispers to you under your breath.
Such casual racism needs to stop.
They built this city on agriculture. You have a D6 inspiration dice. Okay. 10 minutes.
Thank you. You can. Initially, Malphas is going to, just kind of socialize and small talk sort of stuff for now. But whilst the others,
Bree, Rhaegar.
Does
people
anybody?
listen
I mean,
to
these
me,
people
my
all look like
goodness.
they're they're all from the town, not anybody passing through, no other pseudo adventurer types or
Well, the
fancy
halfling
themselves.
looks like they live here. There is actually a half elf that you notice.
Half human.
A half human, you notice, who appears to be not from here. Looks like they're a traveling kind. You can see they have a short sword propped up against the table they're at.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Is there like a bar, or just the tables?
There's the tables. There's also a small bar which the proprietor is behind. You never did get her name, did you? No. So yeah, there's the bar which the proprietor is behind. She's talking to the midwife. There's a couple of people ordering drinks, and there's a manservant Bernard running around.
The midwife is here.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and she's sitting at the bar.
Well, she's standing at the bar talking to the tavern owner.
Perfect. I'll go over there.
Okay. Hello. You're back again. I thought you'd be here for another night. Well, I've got the same rooms available. I was told that you would be staying here. The paid up and all that, and I was actually paid a reasonable amount. So make sure you get a bit more meat in your food tonight, Bernard. Yes?
Wonderful.
Make sure they get some extra meat in their food tonight. Yes, Mom.
Less than mine, thank you.
Oh, less in our elven friends. Yes, Mom.
Thank you.
I was just telling my sister here, the midwife turns to you, that you were helping out at Harlock Manor. Oh, really? Well, that's terrible news about what was going on up there with Lord Harlock.
Absolutely dreadful. We
Where's
truly
Rhaegar, by the way, at the moment?
Just scanning the crowd, watching by the door, just making sure everything's all good.
Okay.
Sit
The guard who
be
isn't
here.
No, I'm alert.
the guard who isn't the guard captain starts eyeing you, noticing you're starting scanning the room. Still in, your full armor. He's a bit curious. Free?
So she was saying,
Well, it's awfully what happened up there. What really did happen? You were up there recently, I hear.
well, we're not entirely sure yet, and I'd really hate to spread any sort of rumors or anything like that, of course, but could have been possibly a stray animal of some kind, but we're just not sure quite how it got into the home. It's a bit of a mystery still right now, and that's part of why we have to stay here another night, clearly.
Stray animal. That's awful.
Yeah, we're not quite sure yet, but it's possible, and it's strange. I mean, there is a bit of mystery about that house, isn't there? And I kind of like including the midwife in the conversation a little. I mean, nice people, of course, but there's a bit of mystery there, isn't there?
Make a persuade roll.
With advantage?
My chat has said that Malphas needs to set up the National Association for the Advancement of Infernal People. Thanks to E's casual racism against tieflings.
Ugh.
That's okay. I rolled a 5.
It's only a 12.
I rolled a 5.
All right.
Well, there was a little bit of sadness a few years ago. Yes.
No.
I mean, I'm sure my sister can tell you more. I just ran the bar. Well, I don't want to gossip too much about my employers. I mean, they're
Well-
lovely people.
Of course. How about I buy you a drink for the story? Then you're telling a tale like a bard. Would that help? I'm trying to work this into the persuasion, and I am rolling a 1.
I rolled a 2.
I like this town. Everyone rolls as badly as I do.
Yes, go on then. Interesting to have new folk in town. Instead of buying me a drink, you can instead. What if you tell me a tale of how you got here? I hear there was quite some fun involved.
Of course, of course.
As I notice people watching and wondering what I'm doing up there, I go towards the bar and order myself a drink.
Oh, hello, dearie. Oh, you're back from there. I'm sure you want to have a drink. Let me see. First drink is on the house, of course, because you're paid up for a drink with your meal. And, your meals will be out soon. I'm sure that your friend who is talking to Captain Alaris will want his. I'll make sure it's sent over to him.
Well, thank you.
Can I kind of beckon Tulips over, get him to tell the story? Like, as a performance?
Well, there once was a cart headed... And he goes into a long story. He's going to make a performance roll then.
I love that. There once was a cart. Can't think of anything that rhymes with cart except for fart. And he carries on the story.
That is actually exactly what went through my head.
I know. I saw it in your eyes. I saw the... It was... You backed yourself into a rhyming corner.
Basically like a 19. So he launches into this epic story. A lot of people start turning around their seats and listening in. And when he finishes, there's a sort of mild, yay, yay. Sort of mild cheering goes on. Someone else buys him another drink. Wow, that is quite the tale.
Avak grows a little bit more broody as he overhears, because the rest of the inn seems to be paying quite a lot of attention. The rest of the ambient noise has gone down. Avak listening to the climax. Not happy. Melfa, sorry.
Fair enough.
Times.
Okay, while Bree was busy entertaining the midwife, Melf, is there anything you want to do to the guard captain?
Generally just been talking with them and asking about basic small talk, just talking about the people that are moving through, just trying to get a gauge of the place. He's not really trying to get any particular information at the moment. He's just greasing the wheels, like you said. Ingratiating himself with the constabulary.
Well, I'm sure we'll be gone soon. Nothing to worry about. Very sad what happened, but, the Lord is fine now and so on. So, yes, well, it's all past. Very past. It's not... Make a persuasion roll.
Oh, okay. What was that, sorry?
Make a persuasion roll for your small talking. You are not attuned to your necklace yet. It takes attunement.
Okay. $18 plus 5, 23.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to siphon the old pythons, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go. I'm back soon. And he walks out, he goes towards the gents. You notice that he misses the gents entirely, walks into the kitchen. Oh, terribly sorry! Walks out of the kitchen, walks back into the gents.
Okay.
His companion who's been eyeing you leans in and says, I'm sorry, but I heard you asking about Andrew.
Shy of being conspiratorial, but very clearly kind of a mix between respectfully, not broadcasting information of this kind of nature, but very clearly interested. Yes, actually, we have an interest in regards to the current situation at the manor.
Wayne doesn't seem to believe me, but I've been noting a number of disappearances over the years.
Since Andrew's disappearance?
Before that, he shakes his head and he looks... Make an insight roll.
Okay. One.
You can make it with advantage because you have been schmoozing and so on so far, and people have been drinking.
Oh, 18. Yay!
Well, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, quite a difference, actually.
His eyes start to well up a little bit with tears.
Oh, okay.
Before that, about every year, kids have been disappearing.
For how long?
Maybe every 3 years.
How long has this been going on
Now,
for?
now, how do you feel about that joke about eating elf eggs?
I still maintain that if they were eggs, they would be delicious. Imagine the protein content
Sorry,
of
go
a
on.
human-sized egg. Oh my lord, it'd be fantastic. Well, assuming you lay it at the kind of same gestational period. Anyway, moving on from biology. Right, so how many years has this been going on?
At least 8. When I started being guard here, I moved here from Alarum.
Someone you know go missing?
He just nods. His eyes a little bit too choked up on holding back to be able to say anything.
Has anyone looked into this? I mean, Wayne seemed...
Dogs or whatever.
It seems that what attacked the Lord was not a dog. I know that the captain seems to think it was.
Yeah, well,
But that wasn't a dog.
he thinks what he thinks.
And the more, while I haven't been here over long, it's clear to anyone who's from the outside, it seems, that these disappearances, they don't seem normal. Not for a small town like this. It's certainly not for the frequency that you're saying. What do the
Oh, in the
locals
last,
say?
years, if you count Andrew, that's at least 4 or 5.
And what have the townspeople done? Have they tried looking into it? I assume they must have, but
Well, it's always put down as being like dogs or something in the forest. We always go looking, but not there.
has there ever been any clues?
We found a foot once.
Obviously, you know, a respectful pause, kind of like an acknowledgement of what that means, the gravity of that, before he asks, where?
In the kids' room. My kids' room.
At that, Malphas just is silent for a little while. And after a few moments, he flags the barmaid for some more drinks. And just waits until the drinks are brought along, which I assume is going to take a few moments if you want to flip back to the other conversations.
Sure, that'll be 2 silver.
Okay.
Other conversation. Hello.
Too much.
Oh, that's harsh, Miss Cartonell. Kids' room? Is there a piggy bank? He with his casual racism and you're stealing from the dead. I just don't know.
Oh goodness.
Wow. Right, back to the conversation. Well, that interesting story. It sounds like you've had some proper fun going on, isn't it? And she flags down Bernard. Yes. Oh, well, if we can have another drink here for my companions, they've been through quite a lot. That's very well then, Diana. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. Thanks very much, Bernard. Well, you were wanting to say something about you wanted a story.
I did. The disappearance of our. I really should have slept more last night. Sorry, meditated. You were going to mention the story of the poor child that disappeared.
Oh, Andrew, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I was watching him one day
What?
and
Have other people disappeared? No. I am not going to metagame. No. Sorry.
good player. Well, I was watching him one day, and he was playing in the back near the stables, and his parents were riding horses nearby, and they asked me to go fetch them something. For the life of me, can't remember what it was. And I turned around for just 1 second, and he disappeared. I quickly shouted for them, and they came over, and they immediately got the guard, and there was no sign of him.
Midday?
Well, it was probably about 4 p.m. or so on.
Wow.
A light dusting of snow. It was winter, I recall.
So light snow, but there were no tracks. There was nothing.
Gee, it's funny now you begin to mention it. No, I don't think there were. I mean, you've been playing in the snow, so there were tracks around, but nothing that the guards found.
It's such a tragedy. It's just awful.
Yes. Well, luckily they've been blessed with a second child, so...
Absolutely. I hope that we can find whatever manner of being did this and make sure that child stays safe.
Yes. Well, I'm sure the guards will be doing something about that. Have you got any plans to help out?
Well, I suppose tomorrow we'll take a look in the woods as well, but really it's hard to say at this point.
Yes, well, hopefully tomorrow you'll find someone. Anyway, I'll get another few drinks. Thank you, Bernard. And pops down 2 drinks, one in front of you, one in front of Rhaegar. Oh, your dwarf friend is awfully quiet.
I'm just taking it all in. Yep. I did have a question though. How long have you been with the family?
About 9-10 years. I've been with them ever since we moved here. Really. My sister had a tavern. It made sense to move here.
Okay.
Get a lot more business recently now that there is no physician anymore. He passed away, I think, about a few weeks ago.
You think?
Well, if I recall correctly, it was about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, he passed away.
Oh, but he definitely passed away. Sorry.
Oh, no.
When we're talking about disappearances. And when you run into as many interesting occurrences as we tend to in traveling the wide world, you can never be quite sure what someone means.
Oh. You mean like she lowers her voice? Necromancy?
It's lowering.
I can't really lower it for the mic. It makes it clear. It just gets higher pitch.
Necromancy?
Necromancy.
Oh dear. Somewhere, Arumba Aramil is turning over restless attempts at meditation.
I sense somewhere in the world a necromancer has awoken. There is necromancy afoot.
Oh no, I just meant he could have disappeared or something. I meant the emphasis on him dying, passing
Well, that'd be
away.
quite hard to do when his heart failed him, I'm afraid.
Ah, yes, well, still know where he is then.
Necromancy.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's still in his grave, unless anything weird is afoot. Although you never know. Not like it was when I was young. You get all sorts coming through here.
Well, look at the time.
During the war,
Seriously, I rolled really well. I'm getting nothing out of this woman because I am failing at role playing today. Nelsa's, on the other hand, got everything we need.
No, you're not there.
it's my tiefling charm.
Okay.
Unlike EE, the people of this quaint little hamlet are progressive. They don't just see a tiefling and assume the worst. They give him a chance.
Her and her sister don't seem to be too worried about you being all different races, to be honest. Some people of the hamlet are, But luckily, they aren't particularly giving you any kind of looks. But yeah, cut back to the guard of Melfas, and quickly, zipping up his fly, and by zipping up I mean rebuttoning his fly because they don't have zips, is the guard captain hobbling back towards you. Well, I've dropped the kids off at the pool. I'm ready to drink some more. Barman!
Do they actually, like, that's a toilet phrase.
What on earth was he weeing? Does he have some gallstones or something? In which case, his constitution is bloody impressive if he can just make a joke about it and wobble back. My lord! Malphas is not messing with that guy.
Oh.
At this point, Malphas had been respectfully, just kind of being there for the other fella, and letting him drink up. Obviously, the guard gets back and welcome back. Have you gentlemen eaten?
Yes, we've eaten. We ate earlier. We're probably going to go and do some guarding duty later.
I
Actually,
wouldn't want
time
to.
flies.
I wouldn't want to
go now.
inconvenience you. You are clearly a hard-working man. You deserve a bit of time to rest. I don't imagine in this town that you have too much for a gentleman of your rank, really, to be wandering around patrolling the streets. Why don't you wait here, and I can accompany your guardsmen out for your patrol. It's not an inconvenience. I would honestly be ashamed to see a man of your talents forced to do such menial tasks.
Make a persuasion roll at advantage because he's drunk, at disadvantage because he's racist, and at disadvantage because it's his job to do it by himself with guarding. So that
Okay. So
is
it's a net disadvantage.
net disadvantage.
Okay.
Well,
Damn. Also, I've got a D6 inspiration dice as well. From Tulips.
The conversation has probably been going about 10 minutes, considering you did a lot of small talk.
That's fine then.
What about session inspirations?
I'm not sure I've heard any of those.
We haven't reached session inspiration yet, sadly.
No. Alas.
Oh.
So it's 16, 11 plus 5.
I rolled an 18.
Alas.
I'm sorry, but this is very much guard duty. Wouldn't want to inconvenience you and your friends. We gotta go do some guarding. Very important guard duty. Jim, go make the guard station ready. And I will follow you once I'm completed in my task, which I need to get to the bottom of this investigation. Investigation. Tankard. The other guard gets up, gives you a look. As the captain is drinking his tankard, leans across to you and says, "If you find whatever's going on or whoever did this, let me know."
With that,
And he heads out.
Malphas just nods.
Anyway, I should be going. Should catch up to young Jim. It's not the same.
Get his name.
Go after him. Yes. Very well, strange tiefling man. What's your name?
Malphas. Malphas is my name.
Mel. I'm going to call you Mel. Mel, I will see you another time.
Take care,
He
sir.
walks out.
Okay. At that point, Malphas gets up. He's basically only had a bit of a drink and goes to join his friends at the bar.
Oh, see, I was going to do the opposite. I was going to say at this point, knowing that she's not getting anything out of this, the midwife,
Oh, well.
really, that seeing them get up, she was going to get up. So
Well.
I guess they probably both stand up at
So
the same
Belfast gets up, Bree gets up, both get out of like booths nearby, turn around and immediately sort of go, "Oh, hello." Is sitting there now with the midwife. effectively
Some
alone.
awkward rom-com
Oh, no.
music starts playing. It's very, very weird.
I was going to politely excuse myself. Not
At which
like,
point,
just
noticing
get up,
that,
but-
and say, noticing. Well, you excuse yourself and get up, but
Yeah.
noticing when you bump into each other, Tulips gets his drums out and goes, "I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you
Stop taking.
sees the look and just stops."
Yes. Yeah.
I am going to retire to my room for a little while.
I take it your conversation was not particularly fruitful.
We're standing in the middle of the room.
You could be saying it softly, but yeah.
And she goes up to her room.
Where's Rhaegar at the moment?
I'm still at the bar. I think.
Okay.
No, you went from the bar to sit down with the
Yeah, the
so
what?
in a booth with Tulips, the midwife, and a number of people listening to Tulips, who has inadvertently broken out into song.
As Tulips is wont to do.
A broken window.
Oh, that song.
Long, interesting story.
Very well. Well, Malphas goes back to his booth then and just shows up listening to Malphas. He's got quite a catchy tune, to be fair. Just kind of tapping along on the table.
Fair enough. Okay. The midwife then excuses herself after a little while and heads out. I'm not as young as I used to be. I need to get back in bed. I've got to get up early tomorrow morning. Look after the. Oh God!
Just a question about how long has it been?
You're probably heading 8-ish, half 8-ish by now.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Nelson leaves.
Braylana goes up to her room,
Mhm.
empties out the bag of holding while she's waiting for Malphas, who didn't take the hint,
A
to have a
potion.
conversation, not in the middle of the common room. So she waits. She goes and looks through the bag. Sees what's
Pop. Small vial of clear liquid with an ever so slight sparkle to it, maybe. Not quite like it's sparkly, but like the liquid itself is almost slightly shimmering.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very clear. In fact, like so clear, it's like the clearest of waters.
21.
You recognize this as probably some sort of potion that would obscure sight or possibly make you invisible.
Potion of invisibility.
Judging by the fact she said she had a potion of invisibility in the store, you're pretty sure it's potion of invisibility.
Excellent.
You're not sure if it's lesser or greater, though.
Okay. Has Tulips finished with his song yet? Has Relgar stopped being antisocial?
I was listening to his brilliant song. I'm sorry.
I understand. It was a brilliant song.
It was a brilliant song.
I don't think he'll ever beat that song, no matter how many times he tries on camera.
Well, he actually then starts going, "It was the greatest song in the world, yeah. This is just a tribute."
At that point, Malphas does actually get up, grab hold of Tulip's tail, and leads him.
He
Upstairs.
yelps and...
He doesn't let go of the tail, just carries on walking. I imagine Tulip's just kind of playing his drums, walking backwards, following his tail.
Yeah. Where are you going, upstairs or outside?
Upstairs.
Okay.
And I'm gonna follow.
Okay, cool. So you head upstairs. Do you head to your rooms or to Bree's room?
Well,
The door
at
is
this point,
the door is left ajar.
if the door's left ajar, then Pokes head into Bree's room.
Took you long enough.
Didn't want to interrupt the awesome song. You really did miss a fantastic performance. Honestly, probably the best one he's ever going to do. I don't think
looks
that
for-
lightning will ever strike the same place again.
Him to Tulips, back at him. Uh-huh. Did you find anything out? I got nothing from the midwife. Well, not nothing.
Not
The
as much-
child disappeared from the middle of nowhere. No tracks, nothing.
Not as much as I could have. There's more there, but I'm not sure this situation is going to be right for me to get that lead again. Bloody guardsmen. There have been disappearances for the past couple of years, about 4 or 5 in the last 8. every few years I didn't get an exact time I should have asked, but the fellow I was talking to, Jim, he lost his son in much the same way. I didn't find out, unfortunately, when he dropped that. I gave him a few too many moments, it seems, before questioning him further, but I'm going to guess that the children are disappearing from the way he was talking. The townsfolk don't seem to think it's anything more than dogs, but he does.
All right. You're talking, so the guard that was with the guard captain is the one that was telling you about this, and you think you can get more information out of him?
Maybe. The situation was right just now. Whether it'll be right again in the future, but possibly.
Then we create another right situation. The guard captain looked like he was nigh on falling over.
I was tempted to go after him, in fact, but I'll give it a
If we
few.
both go after him, he might need a little extra help going to sleep.
That is literally Malphas's reaction. But all right, that sounds like a good idea. Honestly, I don't think he's going to need much help from you or anyone else. Given a few minutes, I don't think he's going to be long awake. The moment he takes his first chance to sit down on a bunch of barrels, he'll be out. That'll be the chance for us to talk with Jim.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. Rhaegar, I assume you're coming along? Or would you rather stay here and babysit Tulips? Because I don't know about Tulips. He seems like he's still in the mood to party.
Were you going to say something?
No, I was just saying he seems like he's still in the mood to party.
Well, were we gonna go back to the manor tonight?
That's a good point. Time is getting on, and catching up with Jim and Wayne may take us a while.
You're pushing about 9 now.
My thinking is that perhaps if we're going to stake out the manor, we need to do it quickly and we need to do it quietly. And perhaps that's not your strong suit, Rhaegar. No offense intended. However, your strength is a show of strength. Perhaps you should just stand guard out front of the manor.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, obviously be extra security.
Tulips, how do you feel about your ability to be unseen? I know it's not your strong point, being a performer, but where's that bloody monstrosity of a cat of yours?
Malphas is not going to eat you. I promise I will not let him eat you.
Malphas would not try to eat a cat. That is an abomination.
Okay. Tulips looks at you and says, well, I was getting a bit hoarse anyway.
You? No.
Come back.
I don't believe it.
Whiny little jerk.
All right.
He looks
well,
and says, no, I can go for hours. Wink.
I miss.
I'm just going to pretend that you didn't say that. Honestly, Tulips, since you're going to be alone with the dwarf, I'm sure he's going to try and pretend that you didn't say it as well.
Wait, he's coming with me. I thought he...
Probably best for you not to be alone. Not that I don't think you could handle yourself in a fight, but it might be advantageous to have Tulips with you.
Rhaegar, you go walk around the grounds, obviously. Tulips, you stealth and observe from a distance. Malphas and I will go and approach the other guard. We'll give guard captain a little bit of an extra help sleeping, if necessary, and then if possible, I will come and join you while Malphas patrols with the guard and has conversation.
Okay, that sounds like a plan to me.
I'm in agreement.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, so Rhaegar and Tulips are heading off towards the manor.
Mm-hmm.
And you two are heading off looking for the guard.
That's right, yep.
And it is 11 minutes past 6.
I was just about to say it is a good time to end there. So
What a shame. I was actually really enjoying this session.
Yeah, I was like, we need an investigation session, so I wrote an investigation mission.
The dice have
How
been
does it
kind to me today. The dice have definitely been kind to me.
They have been kind to Bree.
No, they haven't
Yeah,
been
they
kind to
really
me.
weren't. And even when I did get a good roll, like I wasn't able to. I was all awkward today. I don't know where my head's at. That's not entirely true, but
I think I may have
Even when I did get a good
stole some
roll.
of your charisma because I think Malphas this is what Malphas needed. Something just to forget his frustrations. And just to, sharpen the old dagger of deception. It's a skill like any other. It needs to be practiced. Malphas has
will
got
say-
a fair bit of practice today.
out of character, if we can get the guard captain fired and this guy in his place, it sounds like a good plan.
I know. Seriously.
That's part of the reason that I'm kind of like, maybe needs a little extra help falling asleep, whether it's because he bumped his head or I cast sleep. Does it really matter?
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome.
Right. Well, that was a good
So-
session, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Right. So we'll be back next week at the same time. That is, of course, 7 p.m. GMT on Wednesday. If you want to see the rest of the show, if you missed some of it, the VODs go up on Monday midnight, or the midnight between Sunday and Monday. Until then, where can people catch you?
YouTube/Avak, or youtube.com/Avak rather. Twitter, I'm Avak_. And on Twitch, I am also Avak, because it's convenient to have the same name everywhere. And a name that isn't spelled with numbers. Not looking at anyone in particular.
If I could
is
change
probably good.
it, I would.
Anna.
Yeah.
Where can people catch you?
TheGeekFleet.com. That's the best way to find me. TheGeekFleet.com redirects to my Twitch channel. From there, you can find everything else. There isn't a lot presently.
But soon there will be massive things. There'll be plans and schemes.
No, there's already plans and schemes, of course.
Oh, excellent.
Just without
What would
saying,
you-
really.
They're just secret plans and schemes. They wouldn't be very good schemes if they weren't secret.
Those are honestly the best secret,
Right.
plans and schemes.
Absolutely.
It's just not right if you're just telling everyone, like EE usually does.
No. My schemes are layered, like pie.
Like,
Did anyone get the reference? I make a Dr. Horrible reference and no one gets it. God damn it.
I
Right.
haven't seen it in too long. I'll have
Ryan.
to remedy that.
Do.
Because it's
Ryan,
so
where can
good.
people catch you?
YouTube and Twitter, just the Solar Gamer. Pretty straightforward.
Excellent. By the way, before I say where people can see me, I think we're like $40 off hitting our target for tonight. And if we do hit our target, it's 1.5 times XP, although no one's fought anybody. I will count that as well for the next session. So if you get next session as well, we'll make it 2 times XP. Because
I
if we do-
deserve XP for how much talking I had to do with people with really sad backstories. And also,
It's XP.
for that delicious elf egg comment. I deserve loads of EXP for that.
That's like minus XP. But there is XP this session. But since it's
come on.
I'm going to double next session if we hit both targets.
You
so
owe us
1.5.
XP for your casual racism against tieflings.
I lose XP. I'm now like level 0.
I'll accept your XP as payment for society. It's like community service.
Do you want to read the donations? EE?
Yeah, I'll do that in a second. I'm just
Yay.
giving people time to 100%. But yeah, if you want to catch me, you can catch me at youtube.com/Enter Elysium, where I post ridiculously number of videos every day. You can catch me on Twitch, where I'll be streaming this Saturday at twitch.tv/Enter Elysium. I'll also be streaming on Monday next week, possibly XCOM, and then Friday when it's released, I'll be streaming until I pass out XCOM. But yes, let's go read some donations.
Join us next week as EE persecutes another minority group. Tieflings! It's always tieflings. My chat is really, really pushing this. I imagine there's going to be hashtags on Twitter. It's going to be happening.
They're always hashtags on Twitter. You always blame me.
I don't always blame you. Fate just happens to
Everyone
be
else does.
that. Yeah.
No, there just happen to be these Twitter things saying blame me.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Right. So, does anyone remember where we were last time?
Last time was a long time ago. I've slept since then.
There is one from Lucas Horton saying, "Welcome back, everybody." I don't know if we had this 50 from Pixie beforehand. We'll start with Pixie anyway. So we're making our progress towards 100%. If we do hit 100% before I finish reading the donations, 1.5 times XP.
Read
and
slowly.
Also, it's good donations towards Médecins Sans Frontières.
It's a really
slowly.
good charity, guys.
Yes.
They're
It
amazing.
really is. They're like
Worth supporting.
awesome. Yeah. So I'm gonna read very slowly. Pixie, $50. What's gonna donate to MSF anyway, so I may as well get you guys some XP while I'm at it. Keep up the good work. I love the stream. Thank you very much, Pixie. Lucas Horton, $10. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Lucas. I'm sorry that I missed last week. I was horrifically ill. I'm sorry.
He wasn't. He just had a tummy ache, big baby.
Yeah, but basically, yeah. No, like I was feeling like I wasn't as ill, like physically, but I was like, I can stream, and then I was like, wait, my brain is running at about 1 hertz. I'm like unable to think, and I was like, I cannot do this session, which involves thinking and plots and stuff. And I was like, no, I have to cancel. I need to sleep. And then I slept for like 12 hours. Anonymous, $14. Thank you very much, Anonymous. It's a very good name you've got there. It's a strong name.
Unity. That's what that name says to me. Unity.
Unity through faith.
Indeed. Peace through power is a little bit further down the line, but it eventually gets there. It's just a couple of steps apart, really. Kane lives, everyone. Kane lives.
Dastrom, $50. Glad to see you all back. Thank you very much, Dastrom. I'm glad to see us back too. It was a fun session. I really enjoyed the session.
I did as well. I know there wasn't much action. The shopping dragged on a little bit, but I actually really liked the talky stuff. I really enjoyed just chatting and
I
finding
normally
things
do
out.
too, and I just felt like I was just failing at it. Like I felt like I was rolling ones.
No, it's okay. It was very interesting from my point of view, at least. I don't know what the chat think. I think they enjoyed shopping because of the shopping character.
Yeah, I love that character. That needs to be a reoccurring character. She needs to pop up more often. I'm going to have Malphas put a good word in with Voshka and hire her or something, so she always pops up in all the shops he goes to.
The one way she could be a recurring character.
Make it happen, everyone.
Scarlet Squishy, $5. Just because we don't travel the group anymore, it doesn't mean we're always there, watching over them, wanting them to have all the nicest things. We miss you. Also, this is coming out of Squishy's Egg Fund, and he actually allowed it. We miss you, Scarlet and Squishy.
We do.
Mighty Rick 1, $25. Scarlet and Squishy met some generous people on the travels together, apart from the group. Aww.
Yeah, those children were pretty generous to Scarlet.
Yeah, giving them thanks and stuff.
Ms. Carsonell tweeted something. I think I retweeted it about the tale of what happened with her and the prisoner.
Oh, really? What did she say?
I'm not gonna spoil it. Go click the link.
Yeah, everyone needs to go click the link.
If mods could repost that in my chat. Also, I will retweet it off of the Role4It account. By the way, you should totally go follow the Role4It Twitter account, which is at Role4It. Role spelled R-O-L-E. Because difficult.
Pun.
It's a pun. I'm not sure if the pun's worth it considering how many of the incorrect spelling I've seen now. Your local fireman, $50.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think your local fireman expects you to set fire to the town now. Considering how well your plans normally go.
That can be arranged.
Why would a fireman want us to set fire to a town? Surely that runs contrary.
There needs to be regular fires.
I thought firemen were paid anyway. They were paid for being ready to put out fires.
There are no fires, and they cut the fire budget. They throw away some firemen. They don't need them.
No. Different kind of fireman, guys.
Oh.
Strippers?
Like an elemental.
Strippers? Wow, the fact that that's where your mind went to, that there are two types of firemen in my world. One's that put out fires, and one that strip. Sometimes
Too
they're the same
far
one.
into Tulip's character.
Yep.
Too deep into Tulip's character.
Don't say he's gone too deep, because we're talking about tulips here. The ways that can be taken all of a sudden, it's like, oh my lord.
I know. That's
Anyway.
why I said it. For cripe's sake,
No, no,
finish reading the donations.
Bree
I don't want to
knows.
be here anymore.
It's canon. Zanmar, $10 for the great song about Windows. Really? Okay, thank you very much. LitGeek, $5. I need to adjust my budget to account for more donations now that I can watch live. Very interesting today. I love the investigative side of things. Thank you so much,
Yay.
LitGeek. It's nice to know that people like the investigative side. It's nice to know because I kind of prefer doing the investigative side.
Yeah, me too. I like the XP from the killing thing side, but I personally enjoy the rest of it.
Ramp up the XP for investigating to make it equivalent of killing people in the same session. So,
Yay!
at the compilation, you get Investigate XP. LitGeek, $5 for the song. Thank you very much, LitGeek. We're at 96% of our total for tonight.
EE encouraging arson and stripping.
Hey, why
Blame
not both?
EE, everyone.
But
Hashtag
Mental note,
blame
do
EE.
not do naked fire juggling. It doesn't end well. I'm just saying.
Also, very good point. Not all firemen are paid. Many firefighters are volunteers.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That is actually very important to acknowledge because that is freaking awesome.
Especially in places where you have a normal amount of fires and then suddenly giant bushfire. Very helpful to have just a load of people you can call on.
Yeah.
Kane, $10 for helping people and D&D karaoke. Apparently there was D&D karaoke. I will need to check this out. Thank you very much, Kane, 101. UKZ James, $15. Good to be back after the short hiatus. Also good to see a drunken Melthus and some mischievous antics. Cough. Cat attack. Cough. Anyway, keep it up, guys. Thank you very much, UKZ James. Mighty Rick 1, $10 more. Annalise promised a song, and I kind of want it. Awesome. Thank you very much, Mighty Rick 1. I need to see the song now. Well, hear it. UKZ James, another $15. Good to be back after the short hiatus. Also nice to see some drunken... We've had that one again, so double $15. Awesome. Thank you much, UKZ James. I hope you didn't accidentally donate twice and didn't mean it. RJ Twins, $10 for plans and schemes. Thank you very much. Rob Mobs, $5. Comment, null. That's a great comment. I'm all in favor of null, me. Thank you very much.
Man, a
Rob
few
Mobs.
words. He believes in action, not rhetoric.
True. Sith Forever, $15. Null. Oh yeah.
Got a lot of people who do rather than talk. We need more people like you in this world.
I think these are people who knew that we're getting towards our donation goal and were like, I must enter a donation so quickly. Forget about the comments. We don't need comments. We need action. I like these people.
Indeed.
Jacqueline, 23, $10. The last of my monies, smiley face. Oh, thank you very much, Jacqueline.
I don't know how I feel about taking the last of someone's money.
Hopefully, like you mean the last of my donation monies rather than, this is everything I have in life. Take it all.
Blame me.
Because if it is.
Hashtag blame EE. It's his fault.
Oh, and another $10 just came through from Mighty Rick, and I believe this might push the 26 over. 26%. Let me just check. I need to forcibly update it. Pushing the update. We're 100%.
Yay.
We hit our total. Mighty Rick 1, $10 because I can't stand to watching it at 96%. Thank you very much, Mighty Rick 1. That means 1.5 times XP. We're probably going to do XP this next session, depending on how I feel about this session after going through the XP logs that I have. My XP logs consist of a scrap piece of paper and scrolls. But we may do it after this session. If not, we'll do it next session and I'll add them up. So if we get an extra 50% next session, it'll be double next session. So thank you very much. We may in fact have the group going up to level 5 if I do count it this session. That depends. But right. If you've enjoyed, do remember to come back next week and check out the culmination of this arc, or possibly a continuation, depending on how long they take to find out what the hell is going on.
Hopefully not too
Lawson,
long.
561, $10 for the best salesperson ever. Thank you
Very
very
much
much,
so.
Lawson, 561. Sometimes it's not just the voice itself, but the cadence of speaking, the manner of speaking, It's all about varying it up. But yes, I will catch you all next week, and I'm sure our lovely co-host will too. Hopefully we'll have a Tulips back for then, because I know you will miss the inspired poems and songs of Tulips.
Indeed we do.
Briar is away, but do send him our love. Go check him out on Twitter and pester him and tell him that my performances are nowhere near as good as his. Even though I know you're lying, I accept it.
I think this week the hashtag should be blame Brierston.
Oh, no, you can't blame him for not being here. He can't defend himself. That's not right.
That's the best time to attack someone when they can't defend themselves. You know nothing.
We
Whole
learn so
person.
much about you. Even Malphas doesn't attack someone when they can't fight back. Unless they started the fight,
Yes, he
and
does.
then... Unless they
person.
started the fight first.
Absolutely
Start
does.
the fight.
Totally.
Walk down the road.
He
He tried
totally
to cut the
hurt him
guy's
first.
tail off while he was paralyzed.
He started that fight when he charmed him. He has a chip in his horn because of that guy. That was already an act of war.
So
Actually, the
you're
chipping
saying
balls
he
and tulips.
only attacks people when they're defenseless sometimes.
Only when they started the fight before they became defenseless. Then it's completely okay. You believe me, don't you? Yes, of course you do. You got my back.
The red
why I
one,
love you.
7, about $10. Excerpt from DWB article. DWB?
Doctors Without Borders.
Talked about Borders article. Yes. I'm in the car and we're driving past the scene of an airstrike from earlier today. We've just driven past a truck that was bombed a few hours ago and it's still burning. It's carrying apples and wheat and the sacks of wheat are on fire, so there's smoke everywhere. This is why MSF is a great charity. They operate in places where literally airstrikes on hospitals are actually really common. Like I know in Yemen right now, they've been mentioning that their hospitals are being like quite frequently targeted. So being able to support them, and they're not just like, yeah, screw it, we're going to leave or whatever. They're like, yeah, we will help in these places because they need help, putting themselves on the line as much as we can. I love to help these guys. And so thank you so much for everyone who's donated tonight. But yeah, and hopefully we'll have an announcement about Role4It soon. I'm looking forward to being able to announce the next stage of Role4It. Spooky, spooky. But that will be somewhere around the corner. So expect newness. Hopefully I can relay that to you soon. But yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you all next week. Stay shiny.
Indeed. Take care, everyone. And
Bye,
for everyone
guys.
who's asking, this is Tally, not Midna. Her face is all silver. She's got a winter coat.
Bye, guys. I'll see you Friday.
And we're offline.
I'm not offline yet.
I am.
Seriously, Tally is just like a down-filled pillow that wiggles.
That wiggles.
I need some sort of creature.
Downfilled willows.
I don't have anything. Maybe I'll get a fish.
That would be so funny for you to cuddle it on stream. That would-
I would
Little
imagine you
fishbowl.
giant trout stroking it.
yeah, not in a goldfish bowl. You've actually got a huge fish, like a tuna.
Yeah.
You keep it in your bath.
I take baths with it.
I didn't mean like that, but yes, okay. You take
I'm
baths
just
with your tuna.
imagining like you in a bath
How you
with some,
bond.
like foam, little fish swimming
I shall
around.
call him Bubbles. Oh.
I love you. You're so soft.
Gary White in the background.
So soft.
Oh God, no.
Okay. First, it started out that you just happened to be taking baths at the same time in
Yeah.
the same place as the tuna. Now it's something entirely different that's probably illegal in most places. Right, well, I'm afraid, stream, that is it. Now I haven't got a ferret in my hands preventing me from clicking the button. We're going to be going offline. So I hope everyone enjoyed.